Okay. So first let us finish off the chapter and go for the assignments, or assignments and chapters. We'll finish off the chapter. Yes. Anyways, we'll be done with the chapter. Okay. We'll finish off the chapter and go for the assignments. Okay. So can members have proxies in all general meeting? Yes, possible. There is nothing like it's only in annual general meeting. You can have it in EGM also. Possible. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. So we were doing the voting provisions. The voting provisions started with 106 and it was till 110. 106 spoke about when can you restrict the voting rights also. When can you restrict the voting rights? On what grounds? When can you restrict the voting rights? Whenever there is failure to pay call money or any other sum which has to be paid towards the company, or on any other amount on which the company has exercised the right to lien. That is what a company can restrict the voting rights, provided we have seen one more thing also. It has to be provided in your articles for you to restrict your voting rights. If not, not possible. That is where we had stopped 106, and yes, we had done 107 also. What was 107? By default, all the resolutions will be first decided by show of hands, except for a few scenarios. What is that? We will see. So 107 is more to do with the private companies, but in the other companies and all, what will happen, we will see. Is this clear, all of you? Okay. So to understand what happens in other companies, we need to know these three sections, 108, 109 and 110. So let us first start with section 109. What do you mean by poll? Before we start that, people, now first of all, people will have confusion with these three sections altogether. So first try to understand what these three sections even mean. What does each of the sections say? Okay, the first one, people, what did I tell you? By default, all the resolutions in a company's meeting will be decided by show of hands. Show of hands means nothing but simple, when one person is representing one vote. So imagine in a class, if there are 10 people, if I'm asking a particular, okay, generally what happens, people, whenever a company asks something for the shareholders for their opinion, for their approval, whatever the company asks is always called as motion. Not only here, even in the case of your Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, whatever it is, whenever you are presenting something for approval, for decision, whatever you are presenting is called as a motion. And whenever it is agreed by the shareholders, it is always called a resolution. So motion is nothing but whatever has been presented to the shareholders for their approval is called as a motion. Is clear, all of you? And resolution is when the shareholders agreed for it. We'll be discussing it today. Now, by default, everything was show of hands. But we will see some scenarios where the shareholders says, especially Mukesh Ambani says, "Hey, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है रे? क्या रे? Me and Sai same ah? Rich go poor go difference ilva." So Mukesh Ambani says, we want. So because of that, they introduced a provision, and that provision only is called as poll. What is poll? Which clearly distinguishes between rich and poor. What is that, sir? If at all you are Mukesh Ambani, how many ever shares he is holding, that many votes he enjoys in a meeting. Now when I am going and representing, we saw yesterday also, how much did we vote? We voted 52 votes. So whenever there are some resolutions where by default, yes, it will be conducted by poll, or if shareholders demand that we want this to be conducted by a poll and not by show of hands, chairman will conduct that by a poll. When, how many people should ask and all, we will see that. But as of now, that is what is poll means. Is this clear, all of you? All of you, 100%? Okay. Now what happened, people? When the people in the meeting said, we want justice, now the people outside the meeting also started saying, what? We want justice. We want. They introduced one more section, and that section is called as 108. What is 108? E-voting, earlier it was not there in previous provisions, that is Companies Act 1956 and all. Now we are speaking about more towards democracy, where we wanted more and more people to, possible to participate. So we started introducing a procedure, specifically in the case of listed companies. All the companies, whenever you are calling people for a meeting, you should give them an option for voting through e-voting. What is e-voting? Nothing but whatever we did yesterday. The shareholders get a right to vote in a meeting from the respective places they are. Earlier it was not there, now it is there, and that process only is called as e-voting. Is this clear, all of you? E-voting is nothing but, now Mukesh Ambani went to the meeting and he exercised the vote. We did not go to the meeting, but we were still able to exercise the vote because of that option of e-voting. That is 108. And the last one is called as 110. To understand 110, we need to understand from Companies Act 1956 only. Now what used to happen, people, earlier, whenever the shareholders meet for a particular meeting, or whenever the directors wanted to implement any change and all, what used to happen, it was easy. Now for example, you take in a scenario of Reliance. They will say next month is the meeting. We know for a fact we are least bothered about the meeting also. When you try to understand from Companies Act 1956 point of view. So whenever there is a meeting, we could never go. Obviously, I am not even telling about the days of e-voting. Try to understand this concept from the days where e-voting was not there. So I was not able to go. So we were not going to all the meetings at all. Probably if it's a AGM, we might have gone. For other meetings, we wouldn't have gone because it is far. I have my own practical problems. So I will always skip the meeting. Correct? Logical? No. So, Companies Act introduced one section, and this section says, people, if at all you want to take some important decisions in a company, you had to decide it by something called as postal ballot. What is postal ballot? Try to understand in Companies Act 1956 what used to happen. We used to send a postcard. In the postcard, what resolution we need to pass, that was printed on the postcard. Now that was sent to all the individual shareholders respectively. If at all you guys are okay with it, you could say yes. If at all you guys are saying no, you could say no. On the same postal card, you answer it, you post it back to the company. The company will consolidate it. They will take some time, they will declare the results, whether the resolution is passed or not passed. By this, what did Companies Act actually achieve back then? One is transparency. You know which shareholder said what. You have sent specifically that to this shareholder, you know how many votes he has, because you have all the data. Second reason, people, we were able to improve the inclusiveness, meaning, if at all 3 and 4 and 5 people were coming for a meeting, we tried to avoid that by sending the votes, whatever the votes you guys have to do. We started sending it to your doorstep only. Sir, please vote from there only. So that we started including more and more people in the decision making process. That was the main concept of postal ballot. Understood? Pakkana? So this is 110, where if at all it is, an important decision of a company, you have to take the decision by a postal ballot. What is postal ballot? Each of us will be given an option for us to vote. We have to vote. And the beauty of postal ballot, people, when we are doing postal ballot, I'll tell you, but what in detail and all. But on the face of it, you guys understood the difference between all three. 108 says e-voting. Nothing but whatever is the option you are giving the shareholders to vote. Instead of physical, you can give it in an electronic form. That's all. 109 people talks about poll. Now what is poll, sir? Poll is nothing but where instead of taking one person is equal to one vote, you are taking one share is equal to one vote. And the last one is called as postal ballot. Postal ballot is nothing but an option where we started including, or we started going towards a place where we started including more and more shareholders in a decision making procedure. Is clear? Pakka na? 100% ah? Okay. So write down section, first start with section 109. Section 109, and that is pole. Section 109, pole. Okay, I'll be writing 6. I'll be writing 6. Plan your page accordingly. First one, who can demand for a poll? Who can demand for a poll? The first one, chairman on his own. Chairman on his own. Next one, by chairman on demand made by write on demand made by company having share capital not having share capital. Company having share capital, company not having share capital. In case of company having share capital, any member or proxy, holding 1/10 of total voting power or holding shares of rupees 5 lakh or more of paid up capital. Not having share capital, any member or proxy holding 1/10 of total voting power. Holding 1/10 of total voting power. 1/10 of total voting power. Okay, copied down. Okay, second one, when to demand poll. When to demand poll. It can be demanded either before or after declaration of result by show of hands. Declaration of result by show of hands. Third one, can be withdrawn by the people who demanded for it, by the people who demanded for it. Poll to be taken forthwith. Poll to be taken forthwith. If it is for adjournment, if it is for adjournment of the meeting, if it is for adjournment of the meeting, or for appointment of chairman of general meeting. In any other case, poll shall be taken within 48 hours. Copy da? The polling paper shall be in the format MGT 12, the last one, scrutinizer's report, he shall count and report on the result inform MGT 13, it shall be submitted to chairman within 7 days of taking the poll. Add on one more point. In case of ambiguity, of proxy, scrutinizer shall decide it after consulting with the chairman. after consulting with the chairman. After consulting with the chairman. Kabeda? Ranna? Kabeda? Yes, Sam. Okay. So, what is 108 speaking about? 108 is speaking about something called as poll. Now, what do you mean by poll? As I told you, whenever instead of going for one person is equal to one note, you are going for one share is equal to one note. Now, when will the chairman say that the meeting will be decided on poll and not on show of hands? When will that be decided? It will be decided, it can happen in two scenarios. The first one, whenever chairman suo motu, meaning on his own, thinks that this particular matter shall be decided by a poll, it shall be decided by a poll at the discretion of the chairman of the meeting. The second scenario can come, the chairman will order for a poll whenever there is a demand made by the members of the meeting. Sir, now how many people has to make a demand for the chairperson to conduct this particular motion by poll? How many people have to make? It depends upon whether your company has share capital or your company does not have share capital. If your company has share capital, people, first of all, can a proxy demand for a poll? Imagine, people, the shareholder has not attended the meeting. The shareholder has sent a proxy. Now, can the proxy sitting in the meeting say, we do not want to vote on show of hands, we want to vote on a poll? Can we demand for a poll from the chairperson? Is it possible? Did we see that? Remember, in the rights of proxy, we saw that. What were the rights of the proxy? Proxy can demand for a poll. Proxy can vote on a poll. Proxy cannot vote on show of hands. Remember that difference. That is what we saw here. Your answer was correct, I said. Both your answers were correct. What was that? You guys said, few of you said you could vote, you could not vote. I said the proxy cannot vote on show of hands, but proxy can vote on a poll. Is that clear, Ram? Pakka na? So that is what they are telling you here. They can ask you a question here. Can a proxy demand for a poll? Of course, they will beat around the bush. By now in your assignment questions, you know. I'll be explaining that provision only, but they will build a 8 to 9 liner story there. Agreed, huh? Yes, Ram. Okay. So, any member or proxy who can demand for a poll, sir? Member or proxy holding 1/10 of the total voting power. What is the total voting power in the company? In that, if at all you are holding minimum 1/10, then you guys can demand for a poll. Your request will be taken by the chairman, and then yes, that particular meeting can be conducted by a poll. Sir, or if not 1/10 of the voting power, the person should hold at least the share capital worth 5 lakh rupees paid up. If at all you are holding this much of amount, yes, even now you guys can make a demand for a poll. So it is 1/10 of the voting power, or if you are holding the face value worth 5 lakh rupees, face value, paid up capital. Always remember, any limit in Companies Act can never speak on market price, because I can never define what the market price of each company is, but I can define what the face value of company is. Wherever you are seeing a limit, it will most of the scenarios be face value only. If it is not, then they would have given it to you in that place only. For example, top 100 companies, listed companies. Where did we see that? Top 100 listed companies. Where? General meeting. Why? Why did we see that? Within 5 months they need to conduct their AGM. There I told you, market capitalization, number of shares into market price of the share. So whenever it is required, they will tell you specifically. If not, it is always on the face value only. Is this clear? Okay, so it is 1/10 the total voting power, or if you are holding 5 lakh rupees paid up capital, you guys can demand for a poll. A question can come here. Remember, people will remember and go only voting power. The question would have come on the paid up capital. You are holding somewhere 6 lakh worth. Yes, sir. And remember, this section is drafted in such a way that they have not defined whichever is less, whichever is higher. This 5 lakh can be even 1% also. But now they have not defined, is it higher or lesser, what? They have not defined it. So, by default, 1/10 of the voting power also can demand for a poll. By default, the person holding 5 lakh capital also can demand for a poll. That's how they have drafted the section only. Hello? Exam you will think the vella baratte. Macha, whichever is lesser, whichever is higher, or else why is there 2 limits given in one place? It will come. Is it clear all of you? Okay. Next one, sir. No, whenever there is a demand made, a chairman cannot deny that. But I'll tell you when it will come back. They will be withdrawn. Something we'll see that. Sir, not having share capital, then it is any member or proxy holding total voting power worth 1/10. Same thing, because there is no share capital. Okay. Sir, now when to demand for a poll, a question can come here also. Now how will a question come from poll also, I'll tell you. They would have given you people one 8-liner story. From that story, they will ask 3 questions. You know that English paragraph rating used to be there? Like that, they will ask you 3 questions. The question can be, who can demand for a poll? The second one can be, the meeting is already decided by show of hands. It seems that, imagine they wanted to take a resolution. They have asked the shareholders' approval. By show of hands, the meeting is already decided. By show of hands, it was decided that no, they do not want to go ahead with the resolution. But now the people are demanding for a poll. Can the poll be taken up after deciding the resolution? Can it be taken up? Remember, the poll can be demanded even before declaring the result, even after declaring the result also. Now, for example, Mukesh Ambani first thinks, okay, for ease of operation, let us take it up by show of hands. Because I thought everyone will agree. That is what Mukesh Ambani thought. Now when the decision was taken, people, unfortunately Mukesh Ambani could not win it. So the number of people against it are more. Now Mukesh Ambani says, no, I want to decide this particular decision by poll. He can demand for it. That's how the law is only drafted. You can even ask before also, even after also. Is this clear? Pakka na? Yes sir. The reason is that first every decision will be by default decided by show of hands. 107 said no. Yes sir. Now even I can think, by if at all it is easy to decide and discuss everything in a easy way. Now imagine I wanted to vote for the resolution. That is what Mukesh Ambani thinks. Now we decided the matter by show of hands. Everyone sitting in the meeting also said yes only. If at all it is by poll, I'll tell you what will happen. You need extra people to come. I'll tell you in reality also how it happens. If at all you are deciding the matter by poll, you are deciding the matter by e-voting, you are deciding the matter by postal ballot, the company cannot manage everything on their own. You need to go to an external person. Who is this external person? This external person is called as a scrutinizer. I'll tell you if at all it's a physical meeting, how it will happen. One magician will come inside. He'll come and he'll show one open box. Hello people, see here, the box is empty. You guys will all accept, yes, the box is empty. You know the banging of, I think you would have seen that Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha things and all. So they'll bang and say, yes, we agree. Now that entire thing will be kept here. The members and proxies will witness it. They will lock the box. Now the people will be circulated with the papers of voting, which will have yes or no or none of the above, whatever is the scenario, that will be circulated to all the shareholders present in the meeting. Now you guys will go and start dropping your thing in that particular box. Now the sealed box will be taken back by this person, this magician. When he is opening also, he need to open the box in front of 2 witnesses. That has to be signed in the report. That when I opened, there were no new votes added to this box. You need to certify that. And within some time, the scrutinizer will go through. This magician I told you, no. This magician will be given all the records of the company, what and all. You will give him register of members. What if the person voted was not the member of the company? Or what if he was a preference shareholder? So for him, all the registers will be given. And whoever gave MGT 11, what is MGT 11? Proxy forms. You will verify whether this person intimated that someone else is going to come and vote. Did he intimate? You will check whether his name, everything is correct. Now everything will be checked. Within some time, he will declare the results. Sir, I have checked everything. This is what is my opinion. Wait. Okay. Can you see this? It's done by, I believe, Deloitte. This was what is that? Scrutinizer's report of Reliance meeting. Yes, now the magician's report. Now how does it work? Now see here. Can you see the witness? Two witnesses. That it was opened in front of them, there were no new votes added. Okay, these are the two witnesses that they have taken. Okay. Now see, here is the resolution. Item number 1, consider and adopt financial statements. If it's financial statements means what type of business it is? Ordinary business, adoption of accounts, board's report and auditor's report. Everything will come here. Agreed? Okay, ordinary resolution they wanted to pass. How many did they pass? We'll see. Number of valid votes that were casted. How many? This was the number of votes that was casted. How many are there? 555 crores. 555 crores. And I'll come and say 10 notes I have. Okay. And number of people who said yes was 99.805. And number of people who said no, I think this was with regards to number of valid votes casted for the yes. Votes casted against the resolution. Oh people, this was number of votes casted for the resolution and the percentage was this. Look at the number of people who said no only. That was the number of people who said no. Correct. What is the number? A big number only. Huge number only. But what difference will it make? This is the difference it will make. No difference madalla. Simply we just say we have right to vote. That's what I am telling you. Agreed? This is our scrutinizer's report is prepared. See here. 33,000 votes said no. 0.006. These people should be some really good people only. See here. The company wanted to declare a dividend, it seems. So we are asking shareholders, people, do you want money? See, yaar tarala idare. 33,000 people said we don't want money. They are voting against dividends. And this is a percentage. And finally he will say whether look at the 9th point. I'll tell you when it comes to the next section. The electronic data and all other relevant records relating to remote e-voting and Insta poll are under my safe custody. He is mentioning about two things. Insta poll and remote e-voting. What is that too? I'll tell you when we are seeing e-voting. Yes, sir. And finally he will say there is actually one more report also. I don't know where I get it. So he will say whether this particular resolution is passed or not. This is passed or not. He will give it to the chairman. Now the chairman of the meeting will disclose it to the shareholders for their opinion. I mean for their notice. That will be published. This is how the entire poll works. Understood? Hello? Pakka na? Okay. Sir, who can the magician be? I'll tell you. Who is the magician now? Then who is the magician here? In our case, who was it? Deloitte. What is Deloitte? Audit firm. Remember people, you guys can be a scrutinizer. Yes, so generally it can be this is again, we are only exploiting the field. Who and all can do? It is CA, CS, CMA, advocate. All four can be scrutinizers. The fifth one, no one will tell. That is a hidden gem. The fifth one people says any other person who is not the employee of the company. But to the world only these four are visible. So that's why they will by default go to an auditor or a company secretary or a cost accountant or an advocate. They will not explore the fifth one. Fifth one is actually an affordable option. But no one knows that it exists. Because the law itself says who can be a scrutinizer, their 4 names are written, and the fifth one is any other person who is not an employee of the company. Any other person, it can be an architect or engineer, illi obba free idane, uncle bunny, anyone can be. Of course, you need to be competent. I mean, I'm not saying take him to come tell him to count. It's not like that. You need to be competent. But it can be anyone. But yes, our fields only have exploited this. We won't give it to any other person. We take must money there. Don't worry. Is clear? Okay. Sir, and that's how it works. Next one, sir. Can the poll be withdrawn? Now, Mukesh Ambani asked for a poll. Can he take back the poll? Law has given you a right. You can withdraw. Question can come here. I told you no. It will come in paragraph. The second one can be this. Again, a story will be built. Again the story will be built. You will be writing 2 there. Can you withdraw the poll? Yes, you can withdraw. Who can withdraw it? By the people who demanded for the poll. They should only withdraw the poll. Okay. Next one, sir. Poll to be taken forthwith. What is forthwith? Now, whenever the shareholders are demanding for a poll, now I will ask you, for what are you demanding the poll for? The poll can be demanded, people, for 3 things. The first one, we don't want the meeting today. We want the meeting to be adjourned tomorrow. I want the meeting to be adjourned to the next week. What do you mean by adjourn, people? You would have seen it in the courts and all. The court is adjourned for the day. What is adjourned? Adjourned means postponed. So, generally, when will that happen? Now, you imagine, Mukesh Ambani has come. Neeta Ambani, Anant Ambani, Akash Ambani, Isha Ambani. Now, all these people, they were busy in that pre-wedding. Yes, pre-wedding. I don't know which one is pre-wedding. That day, whatever happened, they said that was Idu casino only. Adu pre-wedding. I know recently they went in that casino, no? 2 days. That is also pre-wedding. Duddidre Guru. You need money. Dudde dunya. Sir, then why do you think we are all here for? CA Adre will let the client come. Will okay. Correct? Okay. You see that video also. Mark Zuckerberg is telling that, he is praising that Akash Ambani's watch. He is telling that watch is some 15 crores or something. 15 crores? What's a 15 crores watch? Okay. Mark Zuckerberg is getting, where did you get this from? Ille. Appa, my father gave. Okay. So whenever what happens is, now imagine Mukesh Ambani feels that whenever his family completely represents the meeting, obviously, definitely he cannot lose. Even special resolution also he will not lose. Mukesh Ambani alone holds around 44%. Neeta Ambani other 6%. Ish Ambani. Everyone put together another 10%. What ordinary resolution? What are we guys going and doing there? Nothing. We do nothing there. We just simply go eat and come. But unfortunately, it may so happen that on the day when this particular meeting is conducted, I would want this meeting to be adjourned because I do not have the majority with me. They are not coming today. Now, may I ask for an adjournment? Yes, sir. Now, I will say this meeting should be adjourned. What will others say? No. Is there no value for the people who have come? They will say, we want the meeting today only. But Mukesh Ambani says, I want it to the next week. So, they will say, okay, let us do one thing. Let us decide by majority. How many of you want the meeting to be adjourned? They will say, sir, I don't want this to be decided by show of hands. I want this to be decided by a poll. So, immediately the poll has to be conducted. Understood? So, the poll has to be taken forthwith means you need to conduct it immediately. If it is for adjournment. Second one, to decide who the chairman of the meeting should be. Voting by show of hands, I am losing. I will say, Benda, humko poll chahi hai. Is clear? So whenever I ask it to be conducted by a poll, again the appointment of a chairman also can be conducted by a poll. These two should be conducted immediately, forthwith. A question will come there. Sir, any other scenario? We are discussing about shifting of the registered office. We are discussing about that. Any other matter, if at all you are demanding a poll there, then the company has 48 hours to conduct the poll. Why? Logically think. Because I need to call the magician, I need to get the dabba, I need to give you papers, I need to make sure, I need some time to prepare for all of this. But in reality what happens? They will be prepared with that. If at all I am speaking about listed company and all, then they, by default they will come under poll only. Why and all we will see. But it is clear, pakka na. So three things. One is adjournment to chairman now. It has to be conducted immediately. Any other matter, it should be conducted within 48 hours of demanding for a poll. Whenever you guys demand it, within 48 hours you need to conduct it. Clear? Pakka na? 100%? Okay. Next one, sir. Poll shall be taken in the format MGT12. How to vote, how not to vote. They have given you specifically how the circulation should be done. This paper. You guys are giving no. What and all to be included for them to vote. That format is prescribed. The format is called MGT12. Next one, people, is called scrutinizer's report. Scrutinizer report. Scrutinizer is none other than our magician. The person who is appointed, that person is called as scrutinizer. Now, this person will give his scrutinizer's report, whatever we saw. It will be given in the format MGT 13. It shall be submitted to the chairman within 7 days of taking the poll. So, he will give it to the chairman. Sir, this is what was considered. He will clearly say how many were valid votes, how many were invalid votes, how many were against. Everything will be given in detail, and end he will say whether the resolution is passed or not passed. So like this, in detail, this report will be given to the chairman. The chairman will inform to the public. So sir, in any case of ambiguity of proxy, so I am not able to decide, sir, about this vote is valid or not. Can you help me? Scrutinizer will take the chairman's help in deciding in a scenario of ambiguities. When you are not able to decide, you will ask the chairman for the opinion. Is clear? Pakka na? 100%? Okay. So this entire thing is called as poll. Now people, okay, quickly let us try to see what and all are the forms we have seen till now in MGT. What was MGT 1? Register of members. And how long do you preserve the register of members for? 8 years. 8 years from the date of? Register of members shall be preserved permanently. Ambiguity means confusion. And what is MGT 2? Register of debenture holders. What is MGT 3? Register of other security holders is MGT 3. ಅವತ್ತೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ MGT other security holders also MGT 2 only. MGT 3 is foreign register. ಅವತ್ತೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ. What is MGT 3? Intimation given to the ROC about opening or discontinuing of foreign registers. Foreign registers, what is the rule? Whenever you open foreign register, should you intimate someone? ROC, you will intimate in form MGT 3. And within how many days you need to transfer the entries from foreign register to Indian register? You will transfer within 15 days. MGT 3, within how many days you will file with ROC? 30 days. Who will... okay. That is MGT 3. What is MGT 4? Register of... who is declaring MGT 4? Who is declaring MGT 5? MGT 4 is declared by registered owner. MGT 5 is declared by beneficial owner. This entire thing will be compiled and sent to the ROC by MGT 6 by the company. This is called MGT 6. MGT 7 is register of beneficial owner. What is MGT 7? Annual returns. Okay. MGT 7 is annual returns. You need to file annual returns within how many days? Within 60 days of closure of financial year. Allah. You need to do it within 60 days of completion of AGM. If at all I do not conduct my AGM, my director says that you need not file annual returns. Is it so? I did not conduct AGM at all. You need to take 60 days from the date of due date. What if I'm a OPC or small company? Am I exempted from filing annual returns? MGT 7A. What if you are a foreign company? FC 4. And okay, what is MGT 11? The form of proxy is called MGT 11. MGT 12? What did we see today? Polling papers. We'll see that. We have not yet seen. We'll see that. MGT 12 was polling paper. MGT 13? Scrutinizer's report given in MGT 13. Clear? Pakana. Try to remember. From chapter 7 you guys will be seeing questions wherever if possible. Try to add the forms. If you guys remember, it will add value to your marks. Clear? Okay. Next one, people write down section 108. Section 108 is nothing but voting through Can a member ask for recounting? No. I mean, that's right is not given, but there is one more section which says section 241 and 244, which we do not have in our syllabus, but there is something called as operation and mismanagement. What do you mean by that? If at all I feel the company is not conducting affairs properly, so I can ask tribunal that the company is doing something wrong. So under those grounds you can go. But it's not easy also. Because end of the day, the scrutinizer himself is you're getting him as an outsider and there is witness also. So the chances of going wrong is less only. Generally it will be in practice. But if at all you are working for the company only, you cannot. It has to be the provision clearly says a person should not be the employee of the company. So it should not be working for the company. Yes, sir? Which one? Poll. So that's why 108 will start. Now what is 108, sir? Now write the question whatever was asked. Sir, today who will conduct all this paper and all, sir? Does people even do it? Sir, we have these EVM machines and all, what they are conducting for our central elections, state elections and all. Can't we bring in the same machine even to our office votings also? Yes, possible. Now whoever is the scrutinizer Anna, will get it as a package. If I come, it is 1 lakh rupees. If I come with my machine, it is 1,50,000 rupees. Then why did you invest? You will come and utilize it here. Sir, can I do it? Yes, sir. Today's date, all the listed companies, I'm not even saying one exception. Today's date, all the listed companies, how will they conduct the e-voting? It will be conducted through electronic means. How will they conduct a poll? The poll will be conducted through electronic means only. Now, you can understand this way. In a meeting, how will the votes be taken? It can be taken by either 107 or 109. You guys understood this one now? Voting by show of hands or voting by poll. Agreed? Now, how do you conduct this voting by poll is left to you. If you want, you give it in a physical method, or you guys can conduct it through a electronic form. And how are you doing it by electronic form? By these things that is only called as EVM machines. That will come under electronic means only. Pakkana. Now people try to understand. Do not get confused. 109 is poll. For the people who are coming and voting through the meeting, when they are present, physically present in the meeting, you guys will go and press the button. Yes or no, as the case may be. Agreed? Did I attend the meeting? No, I did not attend the meeting. Yesterday we voted from the class only. So e-voting combines two things. One is the remote option we are enjoying. Second one, poll can also be combined in electronic voting only by giving you a option to electronically vote when you are sitting in the meeting. Basically, you are going away from the physical format. So when I am saying about e-voting is not a different type of voting. For the same existing meeting, whoever are not able to access the meeting, for them you are giving them an option to vote from the respective places they are from. That is only called as 108. This you guys can even give it to the people who are in the meeting also by giving them EVM machines, or however different ways you guys can give it according to the scenario. Again, this is also called as e-voting only. Is this clear? Pakka na? 100%? Okay. Yes, Sam? Okay. Okay, write down. Section 108 speaks about voting through electronic means. I'll be writing 5. Voting through electronic means. The first one, people, is applicability. Applicability. Whatever we did is called as only e-voting. Applicability. For whom and all e-voting is applicable, sir? By default, e-voting is applicable to the listed companies. Listed companies. Second one, it is applicable to companies having 1,000 or more members. 1,000 or more members. Even for them it is applicable. Remember, again there is a question and they are specifically stressing on a point. If at all in my company there are exactly 1,000 members, should I give them a option to electronically vote or not? Yes. So remember, less than 1,000 e-voting not applicable. The moment it is 1,000 or more, e-voting is applicable. Exam, you will get confused, pakka there. So try to remember that. It is 1,000 or more, e-voting will be applicable. Sir, there is a second thing called as non-applicability. For a few people, this e-voting provision is not applicable. For whom, sir, the first one is called as Nidhi company. The second one is called institutional investors. Institutional investors, banks. Institutional investors. As per SEBI ICDR regulations. SEBI ICDR regulations. Okay, next one. Notice of meeting. Notice of meeting can be sent. Notice of meeting can be sent by directly and website of company, newspaper advertisement, newspaper advertisement, and the third one, content of the notice, content of the notice, content of the notice, about the option available to choose e-voting, about the option available to choose e-voting, the time period of voting, the time period of voting, the third one, login ID and password. People, in yesterday's meeting we voted, right? Yes, now can I go and physically attend the meeting also? Yes, that is possible? Yes, I can go and attend, but I will not have the voting rights. Yes, they can ask you a question there also, remember. Members who have voted the time period we did not write, huh? Okay, we'll write next, write on. Members who have voted can still attend the meeting, but cannot vote. But cannot vote. Okay. Next one, details of grievance redressal officer, details of grievance redressal officer. Once the vote is cast, it cannot be changed subsequently. It cannot be changed subsequently. Okay, we'll write note later. Okay. Next one is timeline, which we had to write there only, write off. The timeline, the time period shall be open for minimum 3 days and shall close at 5 p.m. on the day preceding the date of the meeting. Preceding the date of the meeting. Preceding the date of the meeting. Date of the meeting. Last one, same thing here also. Appointment of scrutinizer. Appointment of scrutinizer. Who can be a scrutinizer? It can be a PCA or PCS or PCMA or an advocate. I'll tell you. PCA, PCS, PCMA or an advocate, or anyone not in employment of the company. Anyone not in the employment of the company. He gets the access. He gets the access to all the details of the company the scrutinizer report is to be prepared not later than 3 days of conclusion of the meeting. 3 days of conclusion of the meeting. Results of the meeting shall be disclosed on the company stock exchange, agency providing the service, website. I don't one common note for this section 108 only. One note is that where they can ask you a question, propose the resolution through e-voting shall not be withdrawn. That's all. This is 108. Rana. Kobita. No, under 108, it's a generic note. Nothing to do with any one particular point. Copy all of you? Uttar Pradesh? Done now? Karthik, you have to sing, no? Hey, yesterday your phone rang, no? Sandeep's phone it was. ನೀನು ಬೇಡ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇದು ನೀನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆಡು ಅಂತ ಬಿಡು. Okay. People done now. So the 108. So 108 people is nothing but applicability of e-voting. So what is e-voting? As I told you, we saw the scenario also. Now try to read whatever is the e-voting we did the other day. You remember? E-voting. See if there is e-voting where e-voting. Okay, people, hello. Now, is Infosys a listed company? Yes, it is listed company. Now, the AGM is happening when people? 36th, 26th, 26th June. Now people, now I want to vote on Infosys meeting. I will be having two options. One, people, now when is the meeting? June 26, 2024. We will definitely have the class. Will I be able to vote in the meeting? Will I be able to vote in the meeting? When the meeting is going on, when I am in the class, how will I vote? So, remember, you guys can have a question now online. Now, that's what I'm telling you. Whoever had this question. Sir, how can the voting be conducted even before the meeting? That was your doubt. I said I can vote and I can still attend the meeting. How is it possible? See, it may so happen that the date of the meeting, whatever you have fixed, the time you have fixed, I might not be available to vote at that particular point of time. People, meeting will not go on to 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours and all. Hardly 1.5 hours. Or 2 hours or maximum 3 hours. It may so happen that you are not available at that time. So, am I not taking away the right of vote from you? So remember, whenever e-voting option is given to you, you guys have an option in two ways. One, do not come for the meeting. Before that only, we will give you 3 days time to exercise your vote. It can be, now for example, 26 is the voting. Yes sir, you guys have studied something called as timeline there. What is the timeline? See there? 3 days. And when will it end? 5 p.m. the preceding date of the meeting. So 26 is the date of the meeting. Preceding date 25th. So now see, try to see the record what they are telling us. Bold, the remote e-voting period commences on Friday 21st 2024 and ends on Tuesday June 25 5 p.m. Why are they ending at 5 p.m. only? Because they have to end it at 5 p.m. only. Yes sir, and you need to give the minimum time period of 3 days. They are giving it to us. Pakka na? Understood? So now what is the option given to me? Now I have 4 days time to exercise my vote. Or no sir, I want to attend the meeting only. If at all it was physical, I would have applied leave and I would have gone. Pakka. Yes sir. Now what they are telling you, because I was not available and it is an electronic meeting, it doesn't make any difference for me. So I will say okay, I do not want to. I will just go through the report. That is more than sufficient. So if at all you are not exercising your vote by 25th, then do one thing. Exercise your vote on 26th by coming to the meeting. That's why it will end on 25th only. On 26th, that's where people will come to the live meeting and vote. Hello? Pakka na? Sure? 100%? I hope you guys are understanding what all these are. Yes, in reality, this is how it will happen. Now people see here, the 9th one. What is he saying? Now scrutinizer is appointed for Reliance AGM. He needs to count 2 votes. What are the 2 votes? There were 2 votes that is casted now. One is on the date of the meeting. One is 3 days, whatever that e-voting period is. So there are 2 different votings that have been done. That's the reason. Now read the 9th point. What is it telling? The electronic data and all other relevant records relating to remote e-voting, that is the 3 days, and InstaPoll. What is InstaPoll? That's a software which will enable you to vote when the meeting is going on live. So those are the people who voted during the meeting. That is called InstaPoll. Hello? Pakka na? Something is going inside. Sure? Sure? Okay. So that's what is your what is that? Scrutinizer's report and your e-voting requirement. So sir, now this e-voting, who and all should do? One thing people, you realize that it's not a easy affair. It's an expensive affair. You need to pay some money. You need to hire some agencies to conduct this. The other day we saw CDSL was giving us an option. You remember we logged into CDSL portal. They will charge money for this. For you to vote also they will charge. You need to pay scrutinizer. You need to pay the person who is providing the service also. Sir, how many people will we pay? You have to pay. That's what I told you. Running a company is an expensive affair only. So, can small companies afford to do? Do they even require that? I told you, day one, 470 sections, not applicable to all the companies. Listed company, machan, followed everything. Listed company. Expensive, you can't do anything about it. Understood? Second one, sir, 200 private company, irodu 200 members. Do we require all these softwares and all? Not required, sir. So they have introduced one condition that if at all a company which has 1,000 or more members, for them people, e-voting will become mandatory. Now who is this 1,000 or more members? These are other unlisted public companies. Listed you will be covered. Other public companies will be covered in the second limit. If at all you have so many people. Clear? Okay. Non-applicability, sir. These limits are not applicable to few people. Who are they? First one is Nidhi company. I told you. To run a Nidhi you need minimum 3,000, 4,000 people. But remember, Nidhi is not doing any business at all. What will Nidhi do? What will Nidhi do? Tilak is like, yaar sir, Nidhi? Nidhi company, What is Nidhi company doing?
Lending money, they'll take all the money and give it to whoever.
That's what you guys did, no? Whoever had money, you gave money to company. Whoever wanted money, you took money from the company. Are you doing any other business? It is your money which is circulated amongst you only. Where is business coming from? Can you even pay all these people? They are telling you not required, exempted. The second one is called as institutional investors. Who is an institutional investor? Generally in a market there are two types of investor. One is called as individual investor. Next one is called as institutional investors. Institutional investors are none other than people. Your mutual funds can come here. Your banks can come here. Now they are getting money, but they are just answerable for returns. They are telling, see, how does the ICICI bank get money? It is through FDs. That's how they are getting money. It is not through any other source. So they are telling, when they are conducting the meetings, they need not have to conduct this particular e-voting option. They are exempted. Is it clear? Pakka na? Okay, sir. Sir, notice of meeting can be sent by. Now, whenever I am telling you e-voting, how and all I can send the notice? One, you will be sending directly, and you will be sending it on the website of the company, you will be publishing it, and even in the newspaper, you will be telling that the particular notice is happening. Same thing again, 21 days, all those things will come. Next ones are content of the notice. In the notice, what and all you will specify? You will clearly specify the shareholder that, sir, you have an option to vote. E-voting also, this option is available for you. If at all you want to entitle it, this is your login ID, this is your password. If at all you are not able to log in, if you have any questions, they would have given you an email ID also. That email ID is only called as Grievance Redressal Officer. Grievance Redressal Officer. Grievance means complaint. Redressal means solution. So you are giving a particular officer's number who can help you fix your problem. If at all you are stuck somewhere, that person is called as Grievance Redressal Officer. Okay. So time period of voting, that is nothing but minimum shall be 3 days. It shall close exactly on the previous date of the meeting at 5 p.m. Okay. Login ID and password. Members who have voted can still attend the meeting. Now understood this logic? You might have voted on 26. Can you still attend the meeting? Yes, you can attend. Absolutely fine. Once the vote is cast, it cannot be changed subsequently. I specifically showed this also the other day. You can once submit, it's done. Agreed? Yes. Okay. Last one, sir, appointment of scrutinizer, whatever I told you. It is PCA, PCS, PCMA, advocate, or any other person who is not in the employment of the company will be appointed as the magician, that is a scrutinizer. Now this person will give you the scrutinizer's report. He will open the box in the front of members and proxy. When he is closing, when he is counting it, again it will be opening the lock in front of 2 witnesses. And the scrutinizer's report will be addressed to the chairman of the meeting. The chairman of the meeting will take all the results of the vote. He will further disclose it to the public. How will he disclose? on the company's website, on the stock exchange website if you guys are listed on NSE, BSE. Who is the agency giving you this software to vote? CDSL, in our case, on their website also it will be disclosed what happened or what is the outcome of that meeting. Clear up? Pakkana. He gets the access of all the details. I told you the records, MGT11 and all that. Scrutinizer report is to be prepared not later than 3 days of conclusion of the meeting. The results of the meeting shall be disclosed on company stock exchange website of the company. Clear? Within 3 days, not later than 3 days. Clear? Pakkana? 100%? Okay. Last one, sir. Section 110. Postal ballot. Postal ballot. I'll be writing 4. First one, postal ballot cannot be used for following business. Cannot be used for following business. The first one, ordinary business. What is ordinary business? The first one is Adda. That is ordinary business. Next one, any business where directors or auditors have a right to be heard. They have right to be heard. Any business where directors or auditors have right to be heard. Next one, exemption of the postal ballot for any business of OPC, any company having up to 200 members. Up to 200 members. The third one, following items shall be discussed only by postal ballot. In this business, you know one. Which one? Where did you see the postal ballot for the first time? Objective clause, when there is unutilized money and you have raised money through prospectus. For changing, you need to pass special resolution by postal ballot. So, I getting the point, important decision. You need more and more people to participate. Yes? Right on first one. Alteration of object clause and same thing will come here also, and having, or write down second one only, object clause Next one, alteration of object clause, same thing. And having unutilized money, and having unutilized money. Next one, alteration of private companies articles of association, alteration of private companies articles of association, that is to add or remove, to add or remove the conditions given in section 2 clause 68. Next one, shifting of registered office, that in outside local limits, that is beyond with city, town or village. Issue of DVR, for now write it as DVR only, next chapter will be seeing what is DVR and all. Next one is variation of rights of securities, buyback appointment of small shareholders director, sale of undertaking, giving loan, guarantee, security, exceeding the limits, etc. Kobeda. The last one is scrutinizer's report. Scrutinizer's appointment. He shall submit the report not later than 7 days results to be declared on website along with along with scrutinizer's report. Along with scrutinizer's report. Okay. Just after everything, write one note. Done now? Copy down. Okay, write down. Copied? Copy down. Yes, Sam. Write down one note. When a poll is conducted, the physical meeting becomes mandatory postal ballot can be done by post or electronic mode. When you are doing it through electronic mode, that is nothing but integrated with e-voting under section 108. When matters are decided by postal ballot, conducting of meeting is optional on the part of the company. Subject to point 1. Kobida? Done na? Whatever we just wrote. Done na? Yes, sir. Kobida? So, now what do you mean by postal ballot? I told you. What is the background of postal ballot? We wanted more and more shareholders participation. We started bringing in a process called as postal ballot. How was it done, people? A postal card was sent to your home. You just had to reply. You had to post it back. That is how the postal ballot was even conducted. Now, under Companies Act 2013, obviously by that time there was an evolution of the way you can conduct your postal ballot. In the definition of postal ballot only, they introduced the postal ballot means a process of conducting a voting procedure either by post or through an electronic mode. Section 2, clause 65 defines postal ballot. For us it is not required, but it says you can conduct it through a postal card or even an electronic voting. So today's date, what people will do, obviously the rate of the people who are conducting it by post, I can literally say it is zero. Then how will people conduct, sir? If at all you are a small company, then people will conduct it through emails. That is also possible. And if at all you are a large corporations like listed companies and all, obviously you don't have a choice. However you conducted your e-voting, the same way you will conduct your postal ballot. Is this clear? However you implemented your e-voting, we voted no the other day. In the same way, when the postal ballot also will be implemented, where you guys will be given login ID and passwords, you just have to vote. But you guys can get confused now. Sir, then if that is the case, what is the difference between 108, 109 and 110? Remember, one more intention of introducing 110 was, if at all you are conducting anything under 110, the company has an option to skip the physical meeting as well. What do you mean by that, sir? Now, whenever you are giving e-voting and poll, you had an option 3 days before the meeting, you have to conduct e-voting, and there is also a physical meeting that is being conducted. Yes or no? When you are doing it by postal ballot, there is no need of physical meeting at all. You can discuss everything through voting by electronic means. Whatever is the result, you just publish on the website, the matter is done. How much is the money that the company will save? Try to think. For example, take Infosys. Now whatever is the rent, saved. Whatever is the food, saved. So it is more convenient and it is also less expensive on the pocket of the company. That is why people on certain matters will also go to postal ballot. Is this clear, all of you? 100%? Pakka? Yes? Okay. So now we saw one meeting where this was Infosys AGM. It is having a actual meeting also. The way that is how the notice also is drafted. AGM of Infosys is scheduled to be held on Wednesday 26 June 2024. So meeting is there. Of course it is being conducted in electronic form. That is in a video conferencing. This is also because of your COVID. Only during the COVID is when the law gave an option for you to conduct a AV meeting. Until then, AV meeting was not allowed at all. You had to conduct a physical meeting. This was a relaxation of 2020, and from that time people are conducting AV only. It's clear, Ram? Pakka na? Okay. Now, see this scenario where we did this also. Tata Motor, we did this. Okay, see this also has e-voting for Tata Motors will be open from and meeting on 24th June. Agreed? There's a meeting. Okay, there should be one more scenario. Have I sent it? Okay, I think I have not sent it. Okay, fair enough. I have not sent that email, but if possible, I will show you after the break. Now, what is this particular thing, sir? In a postal ballot meeting, there will be no meeting at all. You will just see the option given for you to vote, and the voting will process it. The process will begin from this day, it will end on this day. You will not have a date given for your meeting at all. There will not be meeting conducted at all. So remember, why will people go for 110? There are two reasons. Why will people go for the postal ballot? One main reason, law only tells you that there are some matters under which you have to mandatorily conduct it by postal ballot. That you have to do it according to 110. The second one, people, if at all you want to skip the process of conducting the meeting, the expenses, you want to reduce the cost, you can also go under 110. Understood? Sir, so can I conduct anything I want it through postal ballot? Then I will skip off AGM only. That's why they said there are two things which you cannot conduct it through postal ballot. What do you mean by that? You have to conduct a meeting for this. What are those matters? First one, people, ordinary business. What is ordinary business? Nothing but adda, nothing but people, AGM. So conducting of AGM cannot become optional. You have to conduct it at any cost. The second one, people, whichever is the meeting which has given the right to speak to the director and auditor, you have a right to be heard. Now there are some scenarios, we'll be seeing it under section 115. Now imagine, people, if you are proposed to be removed from the company, your auditor, we want to remove you from the company. Can I conduct this removal under postal ballot? No, you have a right to be heard. Whatever you want to say should be heard. You cannot conduct it by postal ballot. You have to conduct a meeting for this. What do you mean by right to be heard? Same thing applies to a director. If you are removing him, he has a right to be heard. He wants to speak. You cannot skip the meeting. You cannot go to postal ballot in such scenarios. Is clear? Pakkana? And sir, postal ballot, also certain people are exempted from postal ballot. Who is that, sir? One is OPC, of course. And next one is? Next one is private companies. Yes or no? Remember, again a mistake where we will do. It's not private companies. It is a companies which are having members less than 1000 or 200. Up to 200, sir. Imagine if you are a public company, if your number of members are up to 200, you are also exempted from postal ballot. It's not only a private company. Is this clear, all of you? Okay, so that's the entire thing. Let us see what it says. Postal ballot cannot be used for following business. What is that? One is called ordinary, next one is any business where directors or auditors have a right to be heard. Next one, people, exemption of postal ballot. Now OPC is exempted for any business. They need not conduct it through postal ballot. They can conduct it through a meeting only. Next one, any company having up to 200 members. It is any company. Again, you will get confused there. Remember, people will by default remember it as private company there. Next one, people, following items shall be discussed only through postal ballot. I will not be explaining the business here. Whatever we have already seen, try to remember that. And rest of it, I'll be explaining it to you under that particular respective places. This is the big list given under the law only. In this, we already know three. And what is that? First one is by default alteration of object clause. Next one was alteration of object clause, unutilized money, prospectus. We had combined two sections there. 27 we had combined, that is what we are seeing. So both are covered here. And next one more thing we had seen was this one, shifting of registered office address. Yes, I think this also you guys can remember. Alteration of private company. What is alteration of private company, sir? Under section 2, clause 68, there are three conditions that are written. If at all you are a private company, in your articles of association, these conditions has to be written. What are those three conditions? Restriction or limit to prohibition. If at all you want to change anything in these three words, then a private company will become a public company. Or imagine if you are a public company, you want to add these three restrictions. That means you are becoming a private company. That means this point is nothing but people converting a private into public, public into private. That is the effect of that alteration. If you want to do that, they are telling you, you have to do it through postal ballot only. Yes, sir. DVR, variation, buybacks, more, okay. Rest of it will come. We'll see whenever we get those topics only. Yes, sir? Okay. Next ones are scrutinizers appointment. Same thing, people. Whosoever we appointed, same person will be appointed here also. He will prepare a report and all that same thing only. He shall submit the report not later than 7 days. Yeah. Under postal ballot, not there for us, but the postal ballot, the time given for you to respond will be 30 days. So, if at all I am giving you a postal ballot, option, then the time given for the shareholder for responding is 30 days. Yes, sir. Pakka na? Okay, so note you wrote, I believe now you understand what is this note. Okay, first one, see this one only. Postal ballot can be done by post or electronic mode. That's the definition only. Next one, when a poll is conducted, the physical meeting becomes mandatory. So whenever you are demanding for a poll, that means there is a physical meeting that has been conducted. So for that, you cannot go for postal ballot. You have to conduct it in the meeting only. So to understand that, read the third note. When matters are decided by postal ballot, conducting of meeting is optional on the part of the company. However, subject to part 1. What is that? Wherever you guys have taken a poll, there you have to conduct a physical meeting. Understood?
So basically, when the meeting is going on, you have to attend the poll.
Poll, that when you are attending the meeting, that insta poll will come. So, see, they are telling you an option where wherever poll is mandatory. Where was poll mandatory? You already saw. People, when is poll mandatory? Da? Under which scenario poll is mandatory? When is poll mandatory? Da? When is poll mandatory? When will poll be conducted? Whenever at the discretion of the chairman, or whenever the members 1/10 of voting power, 5 lakh or 1/10 of voting power, having share, correct? Whenever they are demanding, you have to conduct a poll. So they are telling you that means whenever in a meeting, we are telling that we want a poll to be conducted. So such things cannot be translated to postal ballot going forward. It is a physical meeting, it has to be a physical meeting. You cannot say you will conduct it through postal ballot. That is not allowed. Is clear? Pakka na? 100%. So this is your 3 sections. 107. All the 5 in fact. 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. 106 speaks about when you can restrict the voting rights. 107 speaks about show of hands. 108 is e-voting. 109 is poll. 110 is postal ballot. Is clear? Sir, should we remember the sections? As I told you people, try to remember wherever important, it can fetch you that extra mark. Yes, it will give you. 100%. You guys only try it all. I'll ask you questions. What is section 19? Subsidiary company cannot hold shares of holding company. What is section 7? Nidhi company. Incorporation of company. What is section 3A? Whenever the number of members are reduced below the statutory requirement, you need to reappoint the members within 6 months. Failure, unlimitedly liable for the contracts post 6 months. Agreed? Section 91. Closure of register of members. Section 13. Alteration of MOA. Section 8. Section 8 company only. What is section 10A? Certificate of commencement of business filed with ROC. To file commencement of business, what are the conditions you need to satisfy? Tell me. Subscribers should have fully paid the subscribed amount and tell me da. Yes, and the registered office is filed, INC 22 is filed, and it's a declaration given by the directors. It is given within how many days? Within 180 days of incorporation. It has to be certified by you also that the content is right. If at all within 180 days, if at all it is not filed, then removal of name. ROC has a right. Next one, people. Okay, section 92. Handwritten 88. Register of members 89. ROBO, beneficial interest 90. SBO. What is 96? AGM 97. Tribunal tells you to conduct AGM 98. EGM 99. 1 lakh 5,000 per day. Sir, हमको penalty चाहिए. ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ. I told you. I'll tell you the places where to remember. There also I'll not remember. People, I have not mentioned the word altered in my AOA MOA. I started distributing it to my members. Will this be considered as a non-compliance? If yes, will the company be penalized? Yes? What is the penalty? 1,000 rupees per copy issued. Correct, we'll see that. Section 101, notice of a general meeting. 102, explanatory statement. 103, quorum of a meeting. 104, chairman of a meeting. 105, proxy. 106, restriction of voting right. 107, show of hands. 108, e-voting. 109, poll. 110, postal ballot. 114, 114. Sir, my answer is right. You change your question now. Okay, sorry. What is 114? Resolutions of a meeting. Ordinary and special resolution is given in 114. What is 112? Governor and President. 113. Body corporate appointing an authorized representative. 112 is Governor and President appointing an authorized representative. 113. Body corporate appointing a authorized representative. Is clear? All of you Bakkana? You guys will remember, Remember, if you think on day one, I need to remember all the sections, impossible. If at all you guys are doing it cumulatively, trust me, you can remember all the sections in Companies Act. You can literally remember everything. But let us not remember everything. Even if possible to remember 50% of it. 100, it will always add value to your marks. Yes, sir? We have to remember. Okay, people, I told you one thing. What? Sir, I am a private company, sir. When we started Companies Act, you only told that a private company need not follow all the sections. And you are not giving an exemption at all. You remember, listed company all 470. Public company somewhere we wrote 430, 440. Private company reduced. Sir, what are they being reduced from, sir? So remember, they have an exemption. Now what is that exemption, sir? Applicability of section 101 to 107. I hope you know what is this to this. Notice of a meeting till voting by show of hands. So 101, 102, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 109. Not 108. 109. 108 is there. So 101 to 107 and 109. They are telling you two private companies shall apply. It shall apply. Is exemption. They are telling it shall apply unless otherwise specified in respective sections or articles. What do you mean by that, sir? In your private company's articles, if at all you guys have written section 101 to 107 and 109 does not apply to me, then it does not apply to you. If you do not write it in your articles, it will apply to you. That means they have given you an option whether you want to comply with this or not comply with this. If at all you are quite, by default, 101 to 109 is applicable to you. If at all you write it in your articles, it is not applicable to me, it is not applicable to you. Provided whatever are your financial statements, whatever are your annual returns, there should not have been any default. Sir, in my annual return, I mean in my articles of association, I have written 1012, 107 is not applicable to me. But I have not filed my annual returns. This exemptions won't be applicable to you. You have to follow 1012, 107. So you have to be basically a clean company who has not made any default. Hello? Pakkana? 100%. So this is an exemption. You'll remember? All of you? Pakka? Okay.